Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight's video is an unveiling of sorts, not an unboxing. I've already unboxed this puppy right before your eyes on my last stream. But I also know that a lot of my viewers don't watch streams at all, let alone mine. And tonight's video will be the complete unveiling of what I'm talking about, because on my last stream, I only pulled it out of the box. Tonight, we're gonna take the wrapper off of Paul McCartney and Wings, Venus and Mars 50th Anniversary Half-Speed Master Edition. And I'm also going to give you the entire reason why I bothered to buy this thing months after its release. All right, so why did I not get this album, Venus and Mars by Paul McCartney and Wings, when it was first announced? You would think that I would have done so. As many of you know, I've just been getting back into vinyl recently. I have a small collection, and some bands are a priority, some artists are a priority. The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Yes, good Lord, The Police are all bands that are a priority for me to get on vinyl. That's why when Paul McCartney's Band on the Run special edition came out with a bonus disc, this is 2 LPs. You have the album itself, and then you have a second LP of the tracks unadorned. This is before they started adding some of the lush orchestra. I had to absolutely have that, right? And then when Paul later on released One Hand Clapping, I was there in a moment. This is the album I think that we needed all along. With this album out now, Jeff Britton is now at least strongly represented as Wings' drummer for this time period. So you would think that when Venus and Mars came out, I would have snapped that up. But you see, by the time it came out, I had already started collecting used vinyl as well. And I came across this copy for $5, right? And that's where the tale began. I bought this before they announced Venus and Mars being re-released. Now, the vinyl on it is decent. This is an early release. And unfortunately, that meant I got a few too many crackles and pops than I was willing to live with forever. But the one thing that I loved about this particular copy was the power that this copy had. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about the vocal power, the instrumentation power, usually instruments that come up for a solo, the backing vocals having a very strong presence, and also a wide stereo spectrum at times, or at least giving you the illusion that it widens the stereo prospects. And the percussion was right up front. Well, around the same time that I bought this copy of Venus and Mars, I also bought, and what was this one? What did this one put me back? Yeah, $12, all right? And it's interesting, this $5 copy of Venus and Mars doesn't have any more pops and clicks than this $12 copy. And I thought for sure that this must be a cleaner copy because I had bought this one just before, right? And I listened to it, and I listened to them both one day. And for whatever reason, I was focusing in on the general mix of each album. So when I'm talking about these two albums, you got to understand, I'm not comparing them song to song or anything like that. As a matter of fact, between the two albums, it's Wings' Speed of Sound that has more top 10 hits on it. I mean, it has 2, and Venus and Mars has basically 1. All right? But what I noticed when listening to Venus and Mars is the overall mix sounded, I've used this term before, marshmallowy. And by that I mean the vocals often hidden in the background compared to what I heard on Venus and Mars. We're talking about Speed of Sound right now, right? A very soft mix. Instruments put in or too loud, not adding power, but almost a sense of imbalance. I also have mentioned that I think the reason that the vocals are brought down is certain members, especially Linda, being afforded lead vocals on certain cuts on this album for the first time. Their drummer as well. What you get is they weren't, I think, McCartney wasn't feeling real confident about those vocal mixes. So he had to mix them down further in the mix, and to accommodate that, all the other lead vocals on the album had to be brought down a bit, or at least that's what I hear, right? So I was just so incredibly amazed with the overall sound, despite the pops and clicks that I heard on Venus and Mars. Now, I also knew I was going to have to replace this puppy. First of all, there's a seam split right here. You know, you can see that. Somebody's taped this up. But of course, the album came with, you know, the usual fold out, the lyrics on the backside. And one of the things I thought was cool when I bought it, somebody had actually put the sticker right on the album. I love that. I remember that from back in the day. But it didn't come with any of the other accoutrements that came with this album, right? And the new version does have those, as well as a few additional bonus items. I just got to the point where I thought, maybe I should just go ahead and order the half-speed master, because I want a good clean copy. And now, since I have a very early copy and I have a sense of the power that it drives, I want to know, did this copy preserve that sense? Being a half-speed master, it certainly should. All right? So that will be in a future video. How well does this Paul McCartney and Wings Venus and Mars 50th anniversary stack against an original release? It of course comes with the OB on the side. I've never been crazy about those, but to preserve it, I'll probably, have to kind of wrap it in there when I put a cover on this puppy and everything. But they're okay. I know some of you are all into OB strips. To me, it just gets in in the way of the cover art that the artist originally intended to be on the album, and I'm not really crazy when I see them. All right, we finally got this puppy done. And we'll take a look at what exactly this wonderful album has to offer in this form. So there's the OB strip, took that off, and we can see a wonderful replication of the original album. No ring wear like I have on this other one and everything. All right, and when you open it up, you've got the much improved photo. It was fading on my copy and everything, and I always loved that shot. I always thought it went well with the sound on the album. With the album, as these open up, you've got the inner sleeve here, or tucked in the first half of the album. You've got some of the bonus material here. All right, you get 2 posters with this, and let's just see. Not extremely large. I showed you like the George Harrison poster, so that thing's about like this big. But this is nice, and it contains photos of the band. by, I forget the name of the photographer, but this is a nice bonus. I'm going to have to take a look at that before. I like a couple of these shots. A lot of these shots seem like they're taken at quite a distance, which doesn't do much for me, especially with a smaller poster. Of course, one of the most famous shots, I think this is them in New Orleans, isn't it? Love that. So a real, or is that a press release? I'm trying to remember. Not trying to get my, it may be New Orleans, when they were in New Orleans. All right, so that's what you get on the first half of this album. All right, and on the second half, the sleeve. Oh, wait a minute, we've got some more bonus stuff in here. Is this where they hid that puppy? They've hid something in here, folks, I can tell you that. Oh, okay. Now, this is interesting. I knew that the album came with this, and of course, that's the sticker. That's the sticker I showed you on this first album, and as I recall, it was never this big. But it is a 50th anniversary. Hey, let's go to town. We'll stick that, I don't know, we'd have to stick it in the bottom right hand in. Of course, the second sleeve is a replicant of the sleeve that the album came in, and of course, the album itself inside that. Really tight fit on this one, folks. Hate to do that, but for the sake of the video, now it's got to get an extra cleaning. All right, so you've got the replicate of the Capitol record. Looks wonderful. We'll see. Yeah, looks like it's in great condition. Everything I was expecting it to be. We'll temporarily put you in there one more time. And also in this particular sleeve for the album, you get, there it is. Is this a certificate of, yeah, you bought the right thing? Yeah, I think so. And where are the planets? We were supposed to get, you know, the size of the planet strip, and I'm not seeing that whatsoever, unless I missed it here. I did. Okay. I remember this from back in the day. You know, nice little strip about the planets. So I wonder how all of this stuff fits in here. But anyway, that's what you get with the album. Now, a lot of artwork for sure, all right? And that's one of the reasons that I wasn't going to buy this album to begin with was, yeah, you know, you've got the album, but you're not getting a bonus disc with one hand clamping. You got two full albums. With Band on the Run, you got two discs, and on this you get the one disc. It's a half-speed master. They've done this before, but I never had it. So the total worth of this album for me won't be based on whether or not it came with all of this hoopla, right? It'll be on how well it sounds compared to an early release of this. And I'm hoping half speed means that it may even be improved. If so, you'll be hearing from me very shortly. All right, it's open now. Now I got to do my homework, and I'll get right back to you folks as soon as possible. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line, but the bottom line as I see it, I always say that, don't I, folks? The real bottom line lies in the comments of this channel. It lies in the chats on my streams. The real bottom line, the real opinion of this channel is always in the hands of the tribe. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, that's so damned easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell icon, and you'll be notified of all my videos, whether it's my streams or my regularly pre-shot and shot in 4K type of videos. All right, folks, that about wraps up everything I got to say. Let me know what you think. Have you ordered this album? Are you happy with it? How's the mix? I want to hear from you, because I'm about ready to go and give a listen myself and follow that up, the results, with either a stream or a portion of a stream or a dedicated video on the subject. You guys let me know if you want to see that. All right, again, Michael Noland, The Bottom Line, and I'll see you in my next video where we all prove we are the tribe.